Hi, welcome to Quality and Food Safety with Martha, where we get to learn, apply and excel. This is where we break down complex topics of quality and food safety to help emerging and practicing professionals to be the best they can be. Let's get learning.
Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on something you rely on every single day, but probably never even think about. We're talking about the invisible system that keeps our food safe.
I mean, really think about it for a second. When you're at the grocery store and you grab a carton of milk or a bag of salad, what is it that gives you the confidence to put it in your cart, take it home, and feed it to your family? It feels like this simple, unspoken trust, right? Well, it turns out it's a lot more than just a feeling.
That confidence you feel, it's actually built on a promise. It's a promise that from the moment something is grown or created, to the factory, all the way to the store shelf, a very strict set of rules is being followed to keep you safe. And here's the key. This unspoken trust is absolutely not an accident. It's the direct result of a deliberate, incredibly detailed system designed for one main reason: to protect you. So what is this system called? All right, let's get into the nitty-gritty. This whole system is called Good Manufacturing Practices, or GMP for short. You can think of it as the official, non-negotiable rulebook for making safe, high-quality products. Now, it's really important to get this. GMP isn't just about, wiping down counters. It is a complete system. It's all about minimizing risk at every single step of the way. The whole idea is to be proactive, to stop problems before they can ever happen. And you can boil this entire massive system down to these three core goals. First, and most important, safety. Obviously, keeping anything harmful out of your food. Second, consistency. Making sure that jar of peanut butter you buy today is just as safe and just as good as the one you buy next month. And third, quality. Making sure the product is exactly what the label says it is. So how in the world do they actually achieve all that? Well, GMP is built on a framework that people in the industry call the 5 Ps. Let's think of them as the 5 massive pillars holding up the entire structure of our food safety. Let's break them down one by one. And it all starts right here with the people. You can have the most high-tech, spotless factory in the world, but it means absolutely nothing if the people working inside aren't following the absolute strictest protocols. This means every single person, from the person on the assembly line to the CEO, has to be properly trained in hygiene and safety. It's the reason why things like constant hand washing, wearing hairnets, and using gloves are totally non-negotiable. It's all about minimizing the human element as a potential source of contamination. Okay, so you've got the right people. Where do they do their work? That brings us to our second pillar, the premises. We're talking about the physical building and the environment where the food is actually being made.
A modern food factory is literally engineered for safety. The layouts are specifically designed to have a one-way flow, keeping raw ingredients far, far away from finished products to prevent any chance of cross-contamination. Even the air is filtered and the water is purified constantly. The building itself is an active part of the safety system. Pretty cool, right?
Pillar number 3 is all about the how, the processes. This covers all the specific step-by-step actions that turn those raw ingredients into the final product that ends up in your shopping cart. Under GMP, nothing, and I mean nothing, is left to chance. Every single step is defined, validated, and followed to the letter. From how raw materials are inspected when they arrive, to the exact cooking temperature and time, to how the final product gets packaged and stored, it's all mapped out to guarantee safety and consistency every single time.
Next up, our fourth pillar, the products themselves. This is everything from the ingredients coming in the back door to the finished goods going out the front.
This means every single ingredient has to meet these super strict quality standards before it's even allowed inside the building. And once a product is made, it has to be traceable.
You know those little batch codes printed on a can or a box? That's a GMP requirement. It allows a company to track a specific group of products all the way through the supply chain, just in case there's ever a problem. And that brings us to our final, and you could argue, most critical pillar, procedures. This is all the paperwork, the documentation, the records that tie everything else together. You know, in the world of GMP, there's a famous saying, if it wasn't written down, it didn't happen. Everything is documented. Every single action, every check, every temperature reading gets recorded. These records are the proof, the actual evidence, that the other 4 pillars are being managed correctly. And believe me, they get audited regularly. So there you have it, the 5 pillars: people, premises, processes, products, and procedures. That's the how. But that leads us to a much bigger question. Why does this incredibly detailed system actually matter so much? Well, the benefits are huge, and they really extend to everyone. For us, it's about our own safety. For the companies making the food, it protects their business and their reputation. And for all of us, as a society, it's a huge cornerstone of public health. When GMP works like it's supposed to, it prevents sickness, it builds that trust we talked about at the beginning, and it saves companies from absolutely disastrous recalls. Just think about the last time you saw a scary headline about a food recall. That's almost always the result of a GMP failure somewhere. So this is not just boring red tape, it has massive, real-world consequences. And all of this brings us right to the main takeaway for today. The entire system, all 5 pillars, is about creating trust through a process that is transparent and totally verifiable. I think this quote just nails it. GMP is like the foundation and the steel frame of a skyscraper. You don't actually see it when you're walking around inside, but it is the only thing holding the entire structure up. And that, really, is the ultimate sign of its success. The very fact that most of us can walk into a store and just assume the food is safe is the system working perfectly. Its greatest strength is that it's invisible. But now you know. Now you've seen behind the curtain at the 5 pillars: people, premises, processes, products, and procedures. So the question I'll leave you with is, now that you can see it, does it change how you look at the food on your plate? Something to think about. Thanks for tuning into this explainer.